when my daughter screamed, "You'll either bow down to my husband like a damn servant or get the hell out of my house," I didn't erupt in a blaze of fury. Instead, I flashed a wicked, knowing smile, snatched my suitcase, and stormed out, abandoning the home I'd bled, sweated, and sacrificed my entire damn life for. She was banking on me shattering into pieces, groveling like the broken old fool she thought I was. But hell no. This time, the game had flipped into overdrive. A week later, my phone exploded with 22 frantic missed calls, and that was merely the sizzling prelude to my inferno of revenge. They were about to gag on their toxic arrogance and rue every poisonous syllable they'd spat. My keys were still scorching in my palm as I slammed open the front door, grocery bags clawing into my wrists like razor talons. The Saturday afternoon sun pierced the living room curtains, drenching everything in a treacherously inviting spring haze that once soothed my soul. Not this cursed day. Derek was sprawled arrogantly in my luxurious leather recliner, the final heart-wrenching gift from my beloved late wife Eleanor, before cancer devoured her alive. His filthy socks propped up defiantly, a half-drained beer bottle swinging from his lazy grip, the remote balanced on his bloated gut like he was the unchallenged emperor. He didn't even bother glancing up from the basketball frenzy. "Snag me another beer from the fridge while you're on your feet, you old fossil." I dropped the bags with deliberate force, the weight of milk jugs and bread loaves yanking at my arms. The plastic straps had carved furious crimson welts into my skin. "Excuse me? You deaf? I said grab it," Derek growled, eyes locked on the screen like a predator. "Corona, skip that piss water you chug." An arctic fury clamped my chest. I'd blown my meager social security on those premium Coronas just to appease his entitled ass. Beer I'd never deigned to sip. "Derek, I just dragged my ass home. These groceries need putting away." Now he twisted toward me, his face contorted in that infuriating, smug smirk, as if I were the ridiculous one stirring trouble. "Big deal? You're already vertical?" "I'm settled in, nice and tight." "The deal is, this is my goddamn house." Derek's feet crashed down with a thunderous slam. He uncoiled slowly, looming over me with his massive frame, wielding his 30-year-old bulk like a loaded weapon. But I'd crushed egos bigger than his before he was even a glimmer in his worthless parents' eyes. "Your house? That's rich, 'cause your precious daughter and I own this joint. We foot the bills with my hard-earned dough." "Nitpick much?" he encroached, his beer-soaked breath assaulting me like a foul gale. "Listen up, Edward. We can keep this civil or turn it nasty. Want to cling to your little nook? Toe the line. Piece of cake." The kitchen door exploded inward. Samantha burst in, her auburn locks a wild tangle in a sloppy ponytail, dish towel gripped like a weapon in her clenched fists. She eyed the volatile showdown, Derek towering menacingly over me, the atmosphere crackling with raw, electric hostility. "What the hell's brewing here?" Her voice dripped with that sharp, warning edge from her defiant teen rebellions. "Your old man's being a royal thorn," Derek snarled, his glare boring into me. "Demanded a beer, and he's escalating it to World War III. Samantha fixed me with a withering, disappointed scowl, treating me like a petulant brat. "Dad, just grab the damn beer. Not worth igniting Armageddon." But Derek was far from quenched. He lunged closer, his rancid alcohol breath choking the air. "Here's the raw truth, Edward. You're freeloading in our domain. Earn your keep. When I bark an order, you snap to it. No lip, no bullshit." "Our domain?" I held my voice iron steady, my heart thundering like a savage drumbeat. "You bet your ass." Samantha sidled up beside her husband, forging an impenetrable barrier of betrayal. "Dad, Choose right now. Either suck it up and obey Derek, or haul your ass out and disappear. The venomous words hung heavy, poisoning the room like lethal vapor. I scoured my daughter's eyes for any flicker of the innocent angel who'd nestle in my lap amid thunderclaps. She glared back with Derek's icy, rapacious entitlement. "All right," I murmured, voice laced with quiet menace. Derek's lip curled in a triumphant sneer, savoring his conquest. "Wise choice. Now that beer—" "I'll pack." His grin evaporated, like mist and hellfire. Samantha's mouth gaped. She'd wagered on me, crumbling, begging forgiveness, and slinking away like a defeated mongrel. I pivoted sharply to the hallway, ditching the groceries to rot. Behind me, Derek's ragged inhale sliced the tension. Samantha hissed, "Dad, wait a second." But I was already marching to my bedroom, boots pounding the hardwood Eleanor and I had painstakingly restored 2 decades past. The suitcase crashed down from the closet with a muffled boom. I'd snagged it for our passionate Yellowstone honeymoon when Eleanor radiated life and our horizon burned with infinite promise. Now it gaped hungrily on the bed, poised to engulf the shards of my existence in this viper's nest. I packed with ruthless efficiency, underwear, socks, 3 brutal changes of clothes, not the lot, just survival gear. Living room murmurs escalated to frantic hisses, Derek's baritone slashing over Samantha's desperate pleas. They were scheming feverishly, desperate to quash the old man's fiery uprising. My fingers moved mechanically, creasing shirts, coiling ties. Eleanor's cherished photo nestled in the side pocket, shrouded in fragile tissue. Pills, specs, my battered leather ledger, of every pilfered penny. As I dragged the case down the hall, their conspiracy fell deathly silent. Derek had reclaimed his usurped throne, but now he perched like a coiled serpent, gaze dagger-sharp. Samantha lurked by the kitchen threshold, arms barred, masking vulnerability with false bravado. No bitter goodbyes traded. My trusty old Buick snarled awake on the first crank. I peeled out of the driveway without a backward glance, blind to any window spies. The 30-minute haul to Willow Inn fueled my seething thoughts. Torrents of memories assaulted me through downtown Evergreen. Samantha's extravagant $40,000 annual elite college ride. I'd slaved overtime at the bank for 4 soul-crushing years, eyes bleeding over endless loan docs. Her lavish wedding, $25,000 torched. Derek's deadbeat clan, too broke to pony up. I swallowed the hit to dodge shame. The opulent hall, extravagant flowers, her fairy tale gown, all flawless for my spoiled queen. Then the house itself, $80,000, gutted from my retirement fortress for their down payment, 'cause fledgling parasites need a leg up. That's fatherhood's curse. I deluded myself. What Eleanor would have commanded from beyond? The relentless monthly leeches ensued, $1,200 mortgage sucks, $300 utility drains, $500 grocery bailouts in tight spots. My Social Security evaporated into their greedy maw, and I'd romanticized it as devotion. Willow Inn Motel crouched on the outskirts like a forgotten relic, peeling paint and a flickering neon curse. The room was cramped but sterile. Bed, chair, puny table by the grimy window. I dumped my case and collapsed on the edge, bones aching. The quiet here was a hollow abyss, not the warm embrace of home, but the chilling echo of exile. I thumbed through contacts, banks, insurers, credit sharks, ingrained from 30 cutthroat finance wars. Sunday beckoned, but vengeance waits for no clock. I flipped open my laptop on the rickety table, diving into online banking. Balances blazed accusingly, checking, savings, retirement. The hard-won spoils of denial, forsaking luxuries to armor my bloodline. The cursor throbbed like a heartbeat, taunting my unleashing. Sunday broke stormy, echoing my boiling rage. I deployed paperwork like a vengeful general, statements, policies, decrees, all locked and loaded. First assault, Evergreen National Bank. Bots never slumber. "Good morning, Mr. Hayes," the rep chirped after the labyrinthine menu. "Assistance?" "Axe the auto mortgage for 847 Oak Lane. Account 4729. Silence. Keys rattling. "Sir, active 5 years. Sure on cancel?" "Dead certain." "Cause those leeches don't deserve my lifeline anymore." More rattles. "Effective now. Confirm in 3 days." Second strike landed slick. Allstate had their wheels on my policy for 3 years. Derek's beastly truck, Samantha's sleek sedan. $280 monthly hemorrhage for rides I'd never command. Wrecks I'd never ignite. "Yank 2 vehicles," I ordered. "They fend solo." "When?" "This instant." Credit cards stretched the torment. Samantha leached off 3. Visa, MasterCard, Costco. $500 monthly on phantom debts, splurges I'd never indulged. "Dumping users means they apply alone," the rep cautioned. "Balance is yours. No fresh hits." Got it. Purge now. Every call stripped shackles from my soul. Banking wizardry equipped me with legal venom and rituals, all righteous, all mine to wield. Life insurance demanded ink, but I sparked the blaze. $100,000 destined for Samantha, forged to shield kin. But kin now spelled treachery. By noon, 8 kills. Mortgage severed, insurance gutted, cards barricaded, cash flows cauterized. I reclined in the wobbly chair, eyeing my war log, codes, dates, victories. The manifesto of emancipation. Phone dormant. No desperate howls yet. They'd taste it soon. Rebounded checks, invoices branded with their sins. Oh, they'd taste it bitter. The week dragged serene for me, but a blistering nightmare for them. I ritualized at Willow, lobby sludge coffee, diner grease breakfasts, endless evergreen prowls. My phone amassed missed calls like battle scars, 12 by midweek, 22 by Friday's close. I replayed them in sequence, relishing the descent from confusion to rage to groveling. Initials nonchalant, Samantha sniffing a bank screw-up on the mortgage, Derek bitching about lapsed coverage. Midweek, dread infiltrated. Dad, what the actual fuck? Samantha's voice fractured. Banks demanding full payment by Friday or they seize everything. Derek's tirades intensified. Edward, patch this mess immediately. You're branding us as scum. Final pleas turned pathetic. Samantha weeping, swearing resolutions if I'd just ring back. Derek feigning remorse, confessing overkill, begging reconciliation. I wiped each one, savoring only detached amusement at their spiraling agony. Thursday morning hammered with a door pound. Peephole exposed the wreckage. Samantha disheveled. Derek haggard, eyes hollow from sleepless torment. I cracked the door, barring entry. "Dad," Samantha's swollen eyes pleaded, "we need to hash this out." "Over what?" Derek lunged forward, face aflame. "Over you torching our existence for a petty beer beef." "Not torching, just cutting the umbilical cord." "The mortgage, you bastard," Derek roared. "You can't abandon it. Wrong. My fortress, my title, my debt. You were mere squatters." Samantha gripped Derek's arm as he advanced menacingly. "Dad, mercy." Derek crossed lines. "We both did. But blindsiding us?" "You dropped the gauntlet. Kneel to Derek or evaporate. Your venom. I didn't intend." "Bullshit. You just never dreamed I'd embrace the exit." Derek masked his fury with phony poise. Tempers flared. "But our sanctuary, our credit, our empire, you're demolishing it." "Capable and executed." I inched the door closed. "Craved autonomy? Feast on it." "Dad, halt." "Family, our shared scars." I froze, dissecting her frantic gaze. In a heartbeat, I glimpsed the autumn leaf raker with dandelion offerings. but she'd evolved into a silent accomplice to my degradation. Family's a two-way street, darling. 5 years of my blood for you. Your chance. You crowned him king. Derek's facade shattered spectacularly. You unhinged fossil. You can't. Cops for disturbance, I sliced in. Trespass on private ground. They stared, unmasking me at last. Not the pliable cash cow, but a forged steel warrior who'd embraced refusal. Derek hauled Samantha away. Fine, we'll conquer alone. They shuffled to their vehicle, Derek's cocky gait reduced to a defeated slouch, Samantha stealing backward glances like beholding a specter. I sealed the door, laptop summoning. More strikes pending, vaults to fortify. The demolition surged onward. I hungered for coffee and razor-sharp focus. The Main Street diner had been my sacred haven with Eleanor. Post-treatment pie indulgences. Whispered nothings. Tuesday dawn, I pounded the frosty blocks, breath pluming like smoke signals. I'd fortified my docks anew, primed for carnage. The bell tinkled my arrival. Vaporous coffee and sizzling fat enveloped me like a lover's grasp. I'd scarcely claimed my booth when, Edward Hayes, Hellfire, it's you. Frank Dawson unfolded from his spot, paper stashed. Fellow bank warrior from 15 years back. Mind company? He invaded the seat unbidden. Words you're hold at Willow, holding up? Waitress sloshed coffee. I calculated disclosures. Frank was reliable, yet bound by banker oaths. Kin warfare, craved breathing room. Frank probed deeper. That snake of a son-in-law tried fleecing us months ago. My mug halted mid-ascend. Fleece how? Equity loan on your turf, $50,000 haul. Vowed it was his kingdom, forged papers and all. The diner's hum dissolved. My domain? Spot on. Title probe. Yours clean. Blatant scam. Timeline. Winter chill, December, January. I vetoed it personally. Frank leaned in conspiratorially. Edward, calculated betrayal. Flagged. System marked. No loot exchange. Legal limbo. Hoarded duplicates. Clueless. I nodded, brain churning the payments I'd funneled while he schemed my ruin. Loan purpose? Renovations facade, but town's ablaze with his gambling inferno, massive stakes. Scale? Consult Detective Paul Riley. He's clocked Derek's casino dives. Paul and I had church plot bonds. His offspring, Samantha's peer. If Paul spilled, it was gospel. Frank, indebted. Purse out for barely touched brew. Edward, tread warily. A kin thief might lash out viciously when caged. Back at Willow, thoughts ignited. Derek's beer tyranny, a facade to sustain his plunder scheme. Not mere power play, lifeline to vice-fueled abyss. Laptop ignited, fresh dossier. Derek Vance's dossier. Frank's nuke led the charge. Shadows promised more. Courthouse clamped at 5. 1 hour to invert destinies. Post-meal, I bolted to Evergreen County Courthouse, the monolithic brick bastion now my siege engine. Clerk's lair. A no-nonsense woman in her 40s hammered the eviction seal. Mr. Hayes, your girl's lair? Deed scrutiny. My realm. Terms violated. Stipulations. Unwritten pact. Reverence. Shared burdens. Both obliterated. Thump. 30-day clock ticks today. Dispute. Court date. Otherwise, sheriff enforces. Delivery. Usually 48 hours. Grateful, I clutched duplicates. The judicial sledgehammer descended. No more shadow games. Protocol reigns. Next offensive. Precinct. Detective Paul Riley's burrow. Towers of files. Coffee-blotched chaos. Paul, silvered and etched deeper, clasped with vice strength. Edward, what drags you to my pit? Recon mission. Frank hinted at Derek's betting vices. Your parasite. Backstory. I unleashed the diktat, my exodus. Fraud unearthed. Paul scribbled mute. Derek's a fixture at the tables. Poker obsession. Insiders note escalated visits. Sky-high wagers. Debt load? Patchwork lenders. Harassment reports mounting. Not felony territory yet. Ballpark 18 to 20,000. Figures staggered me. Derek gorged on my provisions, demanded obeisance, all while incinerating fortunes in secret flames. Lenders? Mix of clean ops and underworld sharks. Legits fuming. Shadows shun badges for collections. Exited with Derek's desperation blueprint. Fraud to feed the beast. Hostility to grip the teat. No mere mooch. Calculated plunderer. Twilight at Willow. Tally eviction launch. Debt fraud validation. Comrade web woven. File refreshed. Paul's intel fused. With Frank's. Motifs blared. Frantic. Duplicitous. Lethal. Strain spawned madness. Arm for the onslaught. Dawn. Lender outreaches. Not settlement, but explosive truths stripping his property facade. Verity annihilates. Gossip blazes in Evergreen. Friday, I seized the tale's reins. Post office ambush. Mrs. Whitaker pinned me at stamps. Gossip of vampire. Edward. Kin storms raging. Surviving. Tuned for amplification. She trumpeted. Samantha and Derek exiled me from my own castle. Offspring must mature. Arched brows. Your fortress, nuptials funded, deposit gifted, confidential lien. Puzzled their lavish life on his scraps. Affirm, withhold. Truth reverberates. Next skirmish. Hayes Hardware, my retirement haunt. Boss Tom Kowalski surfaced from ledgers. Edward, Willow whispers. Spill? Staff trio encircled. I poured the venom. Outrage boiled at unthanked patronage. Tuition covered? Dave quaked. Derek boasted affluent roots. Claimed they bankrolled your mortgage. Derek's tongue forked endlessly. Tom's scowl deepened. Evaded overtime. Slots galore. Obligations. Likely casino dens, Sarah hissed. Departed. Narrative epidemic in hours. Triumvirate. St. Luke's Church. Faster Jenkins gearing for rights. Chamber beckon, coffee poured. Seat of solace. Edward, worries circulate. Unburden, straight shooter, aid-driven. Bankrolled them 5 years. Weekend ultimatum. Derek's thrall or exile. Opted honor. Gut-wrenching. Revelatory, affection, sans slavery. True love permits fallout. Overshielded. Indeed. Return trek. Annie's caffeine pit stop. Friday throng. Elders, laborers, stroller brigade. Nook secured. I tuned to the buzz. Derek's indebted across the map. Edward footed their excesses. Suspicious splendor. Dissemination. Flawless. Ring. Mrs. Ellis, 2-decade flank guard. Uproar adjacent. Derek dominant. Badges looped twice yesterday. Grateful vigilance. Secure. Require aid. Kinship's warmth. Steady. Step by step. Dusk at Willow. Momentum organic. Outrage palpable. Ring. Shadow number. Probable debt hound. Recording. Marcus Kane. Summit Finance. Past due on Harry Thompson. Respond. My address exploited. Fraud fingerprint. Erase. Dossier bolster. Backlash inevitable. Derek no surrenderer. Saturday. Barrage. Tom. Mrs. Whitaker. Pastor relays. Uniform. Derek's defamation. Blitz. Aware of his bile, Tom seethed. Ditched them cold. Vowed eternal patronage. Spite reversed. Psychotic snap. Control tyrant. Precise. Evicted pregnant kin. Health crisis ignored. Gratitude. Gears grinding. Smear offensive signaled lender vice. Sequel. Detective Riley. Alert. Derek lodged elder torment claim. Alleges bank puppetry. Deranged finances. Fabrication. Demands proof. Attesters. Unprovidable. Paper trail for senility ploy. Moments. Samantha's plea. Dad answer fuming, but secrets abound. Sobs dense. Carrying Dad. Turmoil's poisoning me. Medic flags. Miscarriage risk. Instinctual gut wrench. Ancient guardian flare. Yet scripted despair. Felicitations. Discovery when? Pre-meltdown week. Fracture. Can't forfeit over cash woes. Kin paramount. Your mantra. True. $60,000 schooling, $25,000 vows. Present. Offspring. Lingering void. If legit, ripple. Timing reeks. Doc consulted. Hesitation. Slot next week. Practitioner? Dr. Ellis, Women's Hub. Eleanor's healer. I'll liaise for med support. Unnecessary. If dire, assist. Her outreach. Acid. Privacy invasion barred. Valid. Director. Disconnect. Hour post. Urban stroll. Derek haranguing outside bank. Volume max. Mind shattered. Theft delusions. Banished gravid daughter for squat. Advanced composed. Throng clocked me. Visages pivoted. Derek spun, crimson. Behold, kin deserter. Greetings, Derek. Vice debts evolving. Strike true. Whispers swelled. Insane. Clueless. 18,000. Riley's tally. Casino stakes. To assembly. Astonishing squander. Sans self-sustain. Derek Violet. Invaded space. You decrepit scum. You. Ledger every cent 5 years. Your wages trail. Throng mesmerized. Devices drawn. Tail hijacked. He barreled off. This war endures, Edward. In return. Chronicle day. Retaliation floundered. Deceits shattered under glare. Gestation alarm. Authenticate. Phoned Dr. Ellis' suite. If authentic. Sucker. No phantom ploy. Derek's menaces breached. Dialed Riley. James, convene. Surge worries. Details. Public clash. Witnessed intimidations. Derailed. Vista stare. Lodge grievance. Safeguard. Dawn. Evidence. Yet urgency. In overseer Steve rapped. Veteran grunt. Screamer revisited 20 minutes back. Lingered at threshold, bolted. Patrons rattled. Uttered. Fool teaching mutters. Tape available. Visual proof. Gold mine. Law. Affirmative. Elder harassment. 0. Dawn. Precinct armed with the drive. Chronology. Riley. Meticulous. Harassment chain. Bank episode. Bolsters. Restraint warrant. Entails. 500 feet. Quarantine. You. Domain. Infringement. Cuff time. Recline. Bonus. Derek lawyered squatter claims. Frostbite. Adverse hold. Montana's 5-year hostile squat. 3 tallied. Schemed 2 more for grab. Reeled. No leech. Estate heist. Master plan. Validity. Nil. Consent nullifies. Rent tax absent. Stern. Calculated larceny. Departed illuminated. Beer facade. Veiled grand theft. Directory scan. Strategic volleys. Premiere. Marcus Kane. Summit. Callback on Derek. Clarify. No residency. No stake. Registered locale. Transient. Ousted. Employed peak auto. 93 highway. Sequel. Apex recovery. Amend. No title. Vanished. Concise. Voracious. No bailout. Mere address purge. Midday. 6 hunters armed. Foundation crumbling. Twilight. Magistrate endorsed decree. Derek exiled 500 feet. Transgression. Iron bars. In cruise. Vindication. Intoxicating. Barred from proximity. Anonymous text. War rages. Relic. Relay Riley. Quarantine. Proof ritual. Monday. Decree lodged. Midday. Implosion. Omnidirectional. Clerk's imprimatur. Instant force. Enforcer dispatch imminent. Buzz. Mike Turner. Derek's superior. Straight. Derek's fables. Fact. Content. Meltdown. Senility eviction. Crisis snub. Doubtful. 2 decades acquainted. Not the guarantor archetype. Dictat. Submit or vacate. Chose latter. No crisis. Acuity verified. Financier/jurist/investigator test. Lull. Suspected. Trio patrons. Derek debtors. Casino notoriety. Commerce tainted. Comprehend. Terminating. Drama-free zone. 20 ticks. Annie's sip. Lender at domicile. Apex from Friday confab. Samantha ring. Dad. Inquisitors grilling debts. Holdings. Earnings. Terror authentic. Disclose. Honest. No possession. Exiled. Wage raids. Asset grabs mooted. Bewildered. Debt default repercussions. 18,000. Inconceivable. Ignorant depth. Vice tabs. Riley intel. Casino extras. Void. Enforcer delivered writs. Rampage. Havoc. Decree. Flight murmurs. Barren prospects. Fracture. Path. Judge True Derek. Dusk staked across avenue. Pandemonium spectacle. Trio lenders. Daytime. Mrs. Ellis mournful salute. Silhouette brawl. Derek Farrell. Samantha cringing. My funded illusion shattering under truth's hammer. Steve alert. Intruder entry bid. Decree cited. Fled furious. Relay Riley. Breach mere hours served. Frenzy breeds folly. Foreseeability. Escape probable. Samantha. Trail the fraudster or awaken. Their crucible. 5-year buffer terminated at edict. Honor elected. Their odyssey. Despair vigil 2 days ample. Wednesday summon Samantha. Diner rendezvous. Lone. Derek's crumbling. Can't abandon. Then void. Decree prohibits proximity. Hiatus. Venue? Main diner. 2 p.m. Secluded rear. Premature. Avenue blind. Nook. Dialogue. Paramount. Sans diversions. Samantha. Materialized. Ravaged. Anguish etched. Twitchy. Slipped opposite. Erupted. Dad. Seething. But Derek unemployed. Hounds relentless. Incessant calls. Threshold assaults for blood money. Awaited torrent's end. Serene. Singular grace for dignified closure, Samantha. Imply? Public confession. Unveil patronage. Edict rationale. Crimson. Town-wide mortification. Veracity versus shame. Method. Day's deliberation on equity. Sunday church witness. Tribune missive. Facebook broadcast. Education. Nuptials. Mortgage truths. Command. Judgments. Patriarch immolated retirement for bliss. Squandered till void. Brew ignored gaze. Derek? Eradicated from my calculus. Decree eternal. Wedlock persist. Your gamble equates him supremacy. Spouse versus sire. Menacer against nurturer. Parity exposes chasm. Silent digestion. Abode. Ancestral vein. Bequeathed Montana vets. Shelter. Trio warrior clans. Sacrifice connoisseurs. Impact. Testament altered. Ratified. Rationale. Bond rebirth pure. Sans legacy lure. 5 years ATM. Probe essence sans currency. Genuine floods. Regret, Dad. Unintended escalation. Apology deficient. Community witnessed servitude. Your allegiance to him over my worth. Deeds imperative. Public penance impossible. Reap election. Derek bolts from pursuers. Cowards flee. Accompany or linger. Reconstruct authentic. Compliance yields gradual adult equity. Tissue dab. Timeline. Sunday, 10 a.m. Absence seals. Verdict. Rose brittle. Pardon feasible. Probed profound. Dandelion sovereign. Valiant saga craver. Absolution diverges trust. Pardon departure over clash. Trust reclaimed. Deed upon deed. Assent. Exit bound. Burden slumped. Observed departure. Sunday quartet days. Valor for authenticity over ease. Accountability over misplaced devotion. Sunday dawned biting crisp. Breached St. Luke's, pondering Samantha's medal. Hall swollen. Revelation hype. Third row perch. Vigil. Jenkins anthems. Scriptures. Yet buzz electric. Confession slot. Samantha ascended rear. Stride resolute. Center path. Lectern clutch. Confronting lifetime. Visages. Crucial on my sire. Resonant through hush. 5 cycles. Edward Hayes subsidized my maid and I. $160,000 academia. State alternate viable. $25,000 matrimony. Derek's kin deficient. Ripples. Figures. Etched immolation. Bestowed ancestral manor. Maternal 2-decade hearth. Mortgage settlements. Sustenance. Power. Coverage. Pension. Existence. Tone fortified. 3 weeks prior. Sire defied servility to spouse. Mandate submit or forsake his citadel. Elected pride's flight. Mausoleum quiet. witnessed spousal contempt to pension sacrificer, prioritized aggressor over guardian, cascades unchecked, timbre unyielding, present via sire's final verity olive, heired, Derek heired, merited veneration, reverence, delivered mandates, direct Pierce. Dad, regret initiates? Affirmative hums as receipt. Jenkins Misty. Supreme valor public error ownage. Samantha embodied, sire exemplified grace amid onslaught. Post-right. Embraces, grips, affirmations. Mrs. Whitaker clasp. Intuited subsidy, unaware recompense. Tom Thump. Gutsy stance. Kin boundaries brutal. Pinnacle. Samantha exterior approach. Tribune Wednesday. Facebook dusk. Falter. Derek vanished yesterday. Loaded rig mid-shift. Phantom. No trace. No farewell. Predictable. Lament union's demise. Relieved. Annulment. Filed dawn. Concealed credit vice bets. Obligations graver. Quarter-year hints. Lawn vigil. Vet lineages. Ingress renovated havens. Vets initiative. Sergeant Lena Torres. Fresh from hell's offspring to gifted playscape. Mr. Hayes. Transformative boon. Vet election gratitude. Warrior's grasp offering. Dwelling for earners. My realm. Lakefront shack acquired. Funds liberated. Veranda dawn brew overlooking Flathead's majesty. Midday angling. Twilight tomes. Decadence post-tribulation. Shack intimate. Dual chambers. Galley for genuine feasts over eatery slop. Pier for skiff. Samantha Ping. Trimester therapy. Relation wisdom absorbed. Brew parley. Rebuild faith dialogue-wise. Grin. Osprey plunder observe. Vow upheld. Epistle candid. Post-communal. Uplift. Ownership embraced. Brew appealing. Saturday diner. Swift. Present. Dad. Appreciative partial retention. Device stowed. Osprey ascends. Trophy clutched. Fortitude. Poise. Recompensed. Interminable burden. Validated. Rocky's dusk. Guilds. Lake Amber fire. Horizon. Vet enclave child glee. Fresh existences in doctrine. Abode benevolence. Enablement divide. Retribution delivered. Honor intact. Kin. Poised for merit-based reclamation. Sans gaile. Endurance justified. If you loved this story, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. To catch the next gripping tale, click the box on the left. Thanks for watching.